all of y'all. Tony McDade, say his name.
Tony McDade.
Tony McDade was murdered by Tallahassee police a week after George Floyd died. Tony McDade was a queer, black, trans man who died, who was victimized from a gunshot from police in Tallahassee, Florida, and there are still no arrests being made because cops in Tallahassee, Florida are protected by Martha's Law. We need to make sure that justice is met. Tony McDade deserves justice. Police come to Tallahassee, Florida, responding to a stabbing. Witnesses did not see any kind of gun or any kind of knife in his possession. Newspapers, journalists continue to misgender him. And his name, say his name.
Tony McDade.
Nina Pop was murdered in the first week of May. Trans black woman, Nina Pop. No one talked about black lives, but my black trans brothers, my black trans sisters, my queer black folks, my queer siblings. Everyone was crying out for Nina Pop. And her name is not said in these streets. I want you to say her name. Nina Pop. What's her name?
Nina Pop.
Dominic Fells. Her body brutalized, taken apart, found in a river in Philadelphia. Found in Philadelphia. I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable, but this is what happens to black trans lives. If we talk about Black Lives Matter, all Black Lives Matter. Say it with me. All Black Lives Matter.
All Black Lives Matter.
Say her name.
Rhea Milton.
Rhea Milton died last week from stab wounds from a targeted robbery. She was targeted by their own community. Rhea Milton died for being a black trans woman, a beautiful black trans woman, and no one's saying her name in these streets. So I want you to say her name, Rhea Milton.
Rhea Milton.
Say her
Defund the police and give it to the streets. Defund the police and give it to the streets. Defund the police and give it to the streets. Defund the police and give it to the streets.
Say her name.
Layleen Polanco.
Layleen Polanco Extravaganza from the House of Extravaganza, the best queer house in all of the world. Layleen Polanco died at the hands of detention police 1 full year ago, and now it is surfacing. We know, police knew she had a medical condition, epilepsy, where she cannot be put in solitary confinement. Layleen Polanco, $500 bail that she could not afford, was taken into custody, put into detention, put in solitary confinement, left there to die. We're supposed to make sure that we protect trans lives. In these streets, we make sure that trans lives are protected in the justice system, and when the justice system fails us, we must fight, we must respond, and we must respond. Say her name!
Jane Thompson.
Jane Thompson was murdered by Colorado police in early May. She is the 15th trans person to get murdered. We only found out about it this week because news media fucking misgendered her. They desecrated her name. They did not respect her pronouns. And because of that, Jane Thompson murdered by Colorado police.
Unapologetic, disappointed but not surprised, knowing in 2020 over 150 people have been murdered by the police. That over 20 trans people have been murdered in these streets. That white supremacy is on the rise from shadows behind familiar faces. She is unapologetic because, y'all, she is tired of having to apologize. And not being able to be myself because I'm hurting, because of murder, and because the system has told me I do not matter. I'm not the only one feeling that. So uniting us with the radical power of love, yes, loving radically, and tearing down the systems. Even with a glance, you can tear it down. Use your power to lift up people up instead of tearing them down. Rainbows unify different colors to construct a vibrant arch. However, each color in their own unique way tells a story about how red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple came to be through knowledge of the electromagnetic spectrum for the rainbows. But guess what? Rainbows have always been here since the beginning of time, where clear surfaces like water or glass and the sun would collide, and there it is. Rainbows make our world beautiful, and they put color into our black and white world. I am proud to be a biracial black and Filipino woman. I love my black! And we all deserve every right to love and embrace our skin and ourselves as every unique, beautiful, and vibrant color of the rainbow. And love whoever we want to love. Black is unique, black is beautiful, and black is fearless. Our colors bring life into this world, and we should not be afraid to show the world who we are as a person, spreading individuality in solidarity with our communities.
We must remember that trans folks have always been here, and no matter how organized the assault against our humanity is, we will not be erased. 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 I believe in our power. In our power. And I believe in black trans power. In black trans power. I believe in black trans power. I believe in black trans power. And y'all are incredible for showing up today. You are empowered to lift up black trans queer lives.
We love to get mail from you. Email us at comments@outlookvideo.org.
To contact us by phone, call 408-293-3040, extension 205.
Visit our website at outlookvideo.org.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/outlookvideo.
And connect with us at facebook.com/outlookvideo.
start a torch procession here that will make its way around Oakland and ultimately up Market Street in San Francisco to light the torch, where the mayor of San Francisco will do those duties. And couldn't be more honored than to start here with Mayor Schaaf, Hawkins, who will both have a moment today. But I want to start off by saying thank you so much, Liddy.
What an honor to start the journey of this pink torch on its way from Oakland to San Francisco to celebrate Pride in a way that demonstrates our resilience. We were not about to let COVID-19 stop us from celebrating the tradition of the pink triangle that for so many of us is such a powerful symbol of how this community turned what was a symbol of hate, genocide, violence into a beacon of light and hope and pride. And I have to acknowledge that Joe Hawkins, you are such a leader in our city. You create a space of love, dignity, and joy for our LGBTQI community, every member, every identity. You are at home, you are welcome, you are celebrated, you are honored here in Oakland. And with that, it's my pleasure. I pass the torch to you.
And I also want to let people know that Black people in this country were enslaved for longer than we have been free. And Black LGBTQ lives matter too. We have, for a very long time, been the target in between pillars of hate. Homophobia from our own community of Black people and racism from white queer people and white heterosexual people. Hopefully, a step forward away from that towards a united community. So, with that, I want to thank everyone from Illuminate, the Pink Triangle. And I heard that this was made from 300 recycled cans. Okay? And those guys right here.
It's on the bottom.
Here we go. I'm going to push the button.
On the bottom.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you are. Get one more.
One more with Ben, of course.
So when we found out it was going to be starting in Oakland, away from Twin Peaks, we wanted to make sure that the design was evoking the triangle itself. So the slope on the top of the torch looks just like the pink triangle on the hill. So we wanted to make sure it was evocative of that. Sorry, I was going to say just thank you, Danny, for helping with the aluminum. Our friend Danny helped us cast the aluminum, which was huge.
So about how many people do you think had their hand in actually building the torch?
About
I would say a dozen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. How many?
A dozen people.
A dozen people, yeah. Tell me about your organization. What is the group?
We're Looking Up Arts. We're an arts nonprofit based in San Francisco, founded in 2018. And this was our first big project. So, yeah.
Yeah, we love making art that's accessible for public and also foster a community building it.
Yeah, absolutely. Community, and it's got to be positive and uplifting.
Most of our organization are either they associate with LGBT community or they're allies to the community.
One of the reasons we went way over the top with it is we want this to be a tradition. So we're hoping everything goes well, we get the opportunity to do this again next year and the year after. Okay. We want to keep making torches.
Yes. We're happy if a city wants to have it displayed in their LGBT center or city hall, or even have it part of a march or procession or like a celebration that's related to LGBT community. Otherwise, yeah, we're happy to any city to borrow or use it.
I mean, we like doing public art, and it's rare that we get the opportunity to do something public and meaningful to us.
Like, to be supportive of the community is wonderful.
All Black Lives Matter! And until all Black Lives Matter, no lives matter! God. Are you handing over here? Yep. Right. I got the flags above.
Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah, I got it.
Can I hear you say Black Lives Matter again, please?
Whose lives matter? All Black Lives Matter! Thank you.
Take it out. Thank you, Omega.
My pleasure.
This symbolizes that there's always going to be problems in this community. But with that symbol, it always reminds us of our history, that we got to continue to make sure we lift our young people up and our elders up to realize that hate is always going to come at us from many angles, but keep the rock, keep the eye on the prize, stay vigilant, and we will overcome that.
Awesome. The torch is handmade by 2 artists from Burning Man. 300 aluminum cans were melted down to make this torch.
Like Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
Let me.
Black trans
Let me
power.
people.
We have our chapter. Thank you very much. Lily looking here.
Yep.
This is Gary, Virginia, who will be carrying the torch later on. This is Miss Billy Cooper, a Black trans legend here in San Francisco.
The fact that we couldn't collect and we couldn't do an event. So I tried to think of what we could do that would be symbolic. For 25 years of the Pink Torch, 50 years of Pride, and literally kind of passing the torch to the younger generation to say we need more, and we need to find equity, find love, to find pride. And so the torch is symbolic in that way. I don't know if you saw the torch earlier. It's been designed by 2 Burning Man artists. 300 cans or melted down aluminum cans to make it, and it's recycled aluminum, and so that was a labor of love for them that they donated. So this is a lovely community event of everybody coming together to create a little reason for us to celebrate Pride. And one of the reasons that propels me to work on projects like this that feature a whole community coming together. Here was Oakland, here's San Francisco, the whole Bay Area. The governor is featuring us on his Instagram page today for all of California. And it's just a reminder that, together we can come together and bring positive change and do so without hatred and vitriol.
This is the 25th annual Pink Triangle. It's such a huge honor to have you all here. It looked for a while like it would be only the outline of the Pink Triangle, and then my buddy Ben Davis called me and said, "Hey Patrick, this might be the year that we collaborate." So long ago, the first Pink Triangle went up in the dark of night so we wouldn't be arrested, and now it's expected to be part of Pride Weekend, and we're so thrilled by that it's become official. It went from insurgent to mainstream, and having it lit up is such a huge thrill. But this is a giant in-your-face educational tool. It's a huge 1-acre spot of pink on the hill, and it's there for curiosity. So people will say, what is that? Why is it there? The reason it's here is to teach people about the Holocaust and what hatred can lead to. So many groups are targeted for hate, whether it's Jews, blacks, Mexicans, all of us. It's a sense of creating other. You're not one of us, you're one of them. And
the Pink Triangle was used by the Nazis in concentration camps to identify and persecute homosexuals. This symbol, which was used in an attempt to label and stigmatize, has been embraced by the gay community as a symbol of pride. However, in the 1930s and 40s, there was nothing to celebrate concerning the Pink Triangle. Gays were forced to wear the Pink Triangle on their pockets in the concentration camps, to identify them as homosexual, to set them apart from other prisoners.
We come here this night, gay and straight, white and black, yellow and brown, to say that together we reclaim this symbol of oppression as a symbol of freedom. To say that San Francisco, in the light of this triangle, will continue to be a beacon to the rest of the world of freedom and love and inclusion that will shine bright. As the good book says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome. We will prevail. We will overcome. Have a good evening. Thank you.
And the fact that this is happening tonight, that Pride may have been physically canceled, the parade itself, but that this is still happening, I think speaks volumes about this community. San Francisco's LGBTQ community has been to hell and back. This is a community that went through the very worst of the HIV pandemic, that other pandemic where our government totally ignored us and allowed it to spiral out of control. History repeats itself sometimes.
We need to remember, and especially today, Black Lives Matter, Black Queer Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter. We all matter. Let's hear it. Happy Pride, everyone.
I have so much gratitude for Patrick on this 25th anniversary year of the Pink Triangle, for Hossein, who has been backing Patrick up as the man behind the man all these years, for Ben Davis, who had the vision to know that we needed to do this differently this year and that we could actually make it more spectacular than ever, which is tremendously exciting. It is so wonderful. It is always wonderful that this symbol of what was oppression has become a tool for education and a call to resistance and ultimately a symbol of liberation. And how wonderful that we are going to have this not just for this weekend, but for the next few weeks as we go through AIDS 2020, and that we have an appropriate way of commemorating this 50th anniversary of Pride, this 25th anniversary of the Pink Triangle, and this incredibly important return of the International AIDS Conference to the Bay Area. So,
Illuminate's mission is we rally large groups of people together to create impossible works of public art that through awe free humanity's better nature. And this was not even an idea 3 months ago. It was less than 3 months ago that I reached out to Patrick, and to his great credit, when I asked him if he would be open to this, and because we couldn't do the triangle the normal way, he just said yes, and we just started galloping. And a lot of folks joined in along the way. The city has been spectacular. None of us are safe until all of us are safe. While this is a story that starts in Nazi Germany, it beautifully fits into the moment that we're in right now. And I'm so full of love and hope and compassion just to see the way we're taking care of each other in this wild moment that we're in. The sights in Oakland today, the connection to the city across the bay and the people there was so spectacular. Mayor Schaaf, Joe Hawkins.
It is such a challenging time. None of us could have ever predicted that we'd be in the midst of a global pandemic. None of us could have ever predicted that we would be postponing events that we have come to know and love, like all the events that happened during the time of Pride. None of us could have predicted, especially me as a black woman in America, that finally, everyone is seeing my lived experience through a whole nother lens. And there are 10 countries that still will put someone to death because of who they are and who they love. So what this means, this reminder of the past, this reminder of an ugly time in our history, has been taken away from that ugly time and used as a symbol of hope, as a symbol for a better future for all of us. We can do whatever we want when we come together, when we show love to one another. No matter what our race is, no matter what our sexual orientation is, We've all, in some capacity or another, experienced discrimination. That's why we are stronger together. And that's why we will never in San Francisco let hate divide us. We come together. We come together in the spirit of love. That's why Pride is always my favorite time of year, because there's so much love, there's so much excitement, there's so many things going on that bring us closer together as a community. Just think about it. The Supreme Court, despite the president, the Supreme Court ruled that you can't be discriminated against in the workplace. That just happened in 2020 because of who you are and who you love. So here we are. It's a little different this year for the Pink Triangle, but the spirit and the love is still the same, Patrick. What you have brought here, how you brought all of us together, the feeling is still an incredible feeling.
3, 2, 1.